Breathe deep and seek adventure. For today's adventure, we are doing the Grand High Tops in Warrumbungle National Park. This hike, the Grand High Tops walk, follows around what used to be an ancient volcano that erupted from 17 million to 13 million years ago. These eruptions peak through what is sandstone, a very soft rock. Now, over millions and millions of years, the sandstone eroded away, leaving just the basalt columns that had come out of the volcano, which is what we're going to see today. The Grand High Tops walk has been voted as one of the best in New South Wales, so I am very excited to do it. All up, this trail is 14.5 kilometres long and will take between 5 and 6 hours to do, depending on one's fitness level. Before we reach the summit, we will be walking alongside the bread knife, which I pointed out yesterday, and will probably point out whilst we get closer and closer. I'm looking very forward to do this trek. The road goes on and on, down from the door where it began, how far away. Thinking that one there must be the bread knife. I can't wait to climb up through here. It's going to be fabulous. This must be the bread knife. I'm not sure what this flower is called. It's very beautiful and it looks like an elephant, I reckon. These bits, this bit here looks like, this bit here looks like the ears, looks like a trunk, and the two eyes. But this place is beautiful. There's wildflowers everywhere. The rock behind me is the bread knife. The question we've all been wanting to know, is the bread knife good at cutting bread? Zero cutting ability? And there's sand in my bread. 0 stars. Bread knife. At this point of the trek, it got really hard. It was very steep and it had got really hot at this point in time. But all the way along, I kept on meeting grey nomads, and they were truly inspiring. Everyone just encouraged one another. One older gentleman said to me, "There's a beer fridge at the top." So every time I passed him, or he passed me, we kept on talking about all the cold beer we were going to drink at the top of the mountain. Or yet another group of elderly retirees who were coming down the mountain saw me struggling coming up, and they were like, the views are excellent, just keep on going, mate. The other people on this mountain, their warmth and their gentleness and their kindness was just infectious. Everybody was encouraging one another. It was just so lovely. Another really nice thing was people were so easy to talk to. Everyone seemed to be really interested in one another. You could ask, "Hey man, where are you from?" And they'd tell you, and they'd be interested in where you came from. And I saw this one couple and they had this humongous camera. I got talking to them and they were there to birdwatch. They'd come from the Blue Mountains and they told me about all the birds they'd seen. I also met a couple from Port Macquarie and they told me how they'd gone to Mount Caputa the day before and how much they'd struggled to climb the mountain. Yet another person told me that they'd just come back from the Pilliga and how I should go there, and encouraged me to look at all the wildflowers and make sure my camera had lots of batteries. I still feel positive thinking about the whole experience. Yesterday we were on our adventure and we were in those fields. Focus. Just there. We were marvelling at the colours. I was looking at the mountains and the bread knife. Well, that there is the bread knife. Well, and this is another mountain we were looking at from way over there. The view up here is absolutely fabulous. It's just grand. I don't believe I'll be doing any of the other mountains because it might rain. I would not like to get stuck up here when it's slippery. But I very much recommend Grand High Tops walk. I can see why it's well. As I came down the mountain, I felt really blessed. I'd talked to so many wonderful people and been encouraged all the way up. I felt lucky that I wasn't stuck in quarantine or living in a country that was riven by war. I felt lucky to have time off work, and I felt lucky that I even had work. I felt really fortunate to have such good weather. Not long after reaching the car park, it started to bucket down rain. Can you imagine being stuck on this mountain and bucketing rain? It would be so horrible. But it wasn't horrible. It was fabulous. I felt a deep sense of happiness as I wandered along the trail, smelling all the different types of wildflowers. They were so fragrant, so beautiful. All the way up and all the way down. I felt inspired by some of the people I'd talked to. I talked to one couple from England and they told me about all the adventures they'd had all over the world and how they were meant to be going through Japan, but because of COVID they were stuck here, but how happy they were too. I just felt inspired. I want to be like those kind of people. I hope when I'm old and grey, I'm still having adventures. I'm still out there in the bush and getting out there and exploring all the fabulous things. I hope that I inspire young people when I'm old and grey. I hope I'm encouraging like they are. And I hope that your adventures are also blessed, as mine have been.